See, Friday, January 3rd, 2025. Happy New Year, everybody. Thanks for joining me. If you're joining me live on Facebook or on YouTube, I welcome you, invite you to drop a comment or a question in the chat. I'll be monitoring that chat as often as I can as I'm going through our live stream. Um, hey, if this is your first time joining me on the live stream, welcome. My name is Steve Thomason. I'm a visual artist, a pastor, and a professor of spiritual formation at Luther Seminary. And my ministry I call the Art Pastor. And what I'm interested in is exploring spirituality and scripture through visual art and creativity. And every Friday afternoon at 4 p.m. Central Time, as many Fridays as I can, I like to do a live stream simply as a spiritual practice. And every week it's a little different. And what I like to do is create a piece of original art during the live stream. Because for me, drawing and painting is a form of spiritual practice. It's a contemplative practice for me. And I love doing it and I love sharing it with you. And if you want to, hey, Stephen Martin is on the stream. Thanks so much for joining me, Stephen. Happy New Year to you as well. Again, it's really great to have you here. And uh, today we're going to just dive in. I just feel like drawing today because it's just so much fun. It's so relaxing, and I'm gonna go ahead. Well, before I do that, because my music's gonna start playing, I've chosen a resource that I just have four faces, and so I'm gonna try to do all four faces, very gestural, very loose kind of sketches, and each it's the same person who has four different expressions. I've done this practice before. It's a really fun way to just explore the human face. And the theological reflection on this is like if you're paying attention to the Revised Common Lectionary for this coming weekend, the text is John chapter 1, where it talks about in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. And the Word became flesh and dwelt among us. And so God becomes flesh. God is human, just like us. And so when I draw the human form, whether it's a face or the figure, um, it's just that realization that God is present. God is both our creator and has become one of us. And so it's just a way of connecting. And for no other reason, it's just the pure joy of drawing. I just love it so much. So let's dive in. And if you want to join me and try to draw these faces along with me, uh, go for it. Or if you just want to sit back and enjoy the process, I like to geek out over my technique as well, and so this is my iPad. You can see my over-the-shoulder cam here. I really like drawing in this app called Procreate, and I'm going to start a new file. And I've been working in the square format lately because it's just a nice simple format. So I'm going to open up a 4K square format. And I'm going to show you a little trick here in Procreate. If you come up here and click on Canvas and then come here and turn on the reference feature, it opens up this little inset window, and you can click on image and hit import image, and it'll open up your photo gallery. And I downloaded this photograph from Pinterest. And yes, I'm pretty sure this is Pedro Pascal. If you're a Mandalorian fan, he is the Mandalorian. And he has this photo is out there, and I love these. There's hundreds of these that you can find online where it just shows actors with different facial expressions. It's just a great way to practice and explore the human face. And so I'm going to try to do all four of these. And I really like this reference as well because it is in black and white. So let me make it a little smaller. And I like this feature of Procreate because you can have your photo reference right inside of the Procreate app, right? So, all right. So if you've been watching me in the past, you know that I like to start with a neutral mid-tone background. And hey, let me know if you think the music's too loud. So I'm going to start, the approach I'm going to take this time is I'm going to start with a gouache brush and really start with some of the big bold shapes, darks. We have kind of a mid tone in the background. And I am playing my Christmas playlist because it is still Christmas. It's technically still Christmas. And so, blessed Christmas, everybody. Happy Christmas. And may the joy of Christmas and the new year fill your hearts. And drawing brings me great joy. So let's just do this. Make my brush a little smaller. And just start. So one of the things you want to do, you'll notice I squint a lot when I draw. Because, actually I'm going to turn this down just a little bit. There we go. I do squint a lot when I draw because what squinting does is it lets you see just the tones. Instead of the details, so the darks and lights. And so when I was a caricature artist, I did caricatures at amusement parks and I started in 1987, and I did it for 10 years full time, and then continued to draw at parties and things for another 10 years after that. And we used a very linear approach, and so I always started with line, and so and that's a really good practice, but I find it kind of liberating to do it this way now, because this is more of a painterly approach to it. There's not really a right or wrong way to do it. It's just what way works best for you. So if I press and hold, I'll get my middle tone. I want to come up a little lighter and see I've got these, big white areas here. Got highlights right here. My big area of highlight right here. He's got that big bridge in his nose. And now what I think I'll do is I'll actually come in with my sketch marker, and now that I've kind of mapped out his face, now I can start looking at details and stuff. Whoops. So now I'm just kind of mapping out the basic shapes. Because I did that tonal map, I kind of know now where to draw the details. So I wrap that. He's got such a fun smile. And my caricature really comes out when I draw, because I'm not trying to do like an extreme exaggeration on this, but even my portraiture has a bit of exaggeration. And I think that's okay, because you know, photorealistic portraits are, they're they're kind of lifeless sometimes. So I like to put a little bit of exaggeration, a little bit of personality into the portrait. And again, I'm not trying to do a finished anything here. I'm just trying to enjoy the process of drawing here today. Just sketching and exploring, having some fun. You might find something in here that interests you. Now I'm going to take this tone and kind of come in and I'll come back with black. Just do a little bit more detail there. Just kind of moving around with lighter middle tones. Just modeling a little bit. Model this. We'll just spend a couple more minutes on this one and then we'll move to the other expression. Another expression, yeah. Come down here back to black. And again, if you're watching live and if you have any questions or comments, just let me know. Happy to try to talk about what I'm doing or what I'm thinking about. Or just enjoy. It's all good. Pop this shape out here a little bit. Come back here to black. Just put in some fun little details. And just do a little bit of work in here. All right, there's one. So I'm going to make this one small and put it up here. Let's try another one. Let's do another layer. Let's do this one because it's just so much fun. I think on this one I'm going to take a different approach and just kind of, this one I'm going to be more gestural with lines. What I think is fun about this is that his teeth are kind of offset. So I want to really capture that. Find myself make the face. By turning my pencil sideways, I can still get, you know, some of those big shaded areas. Now let's just come up here and I'll come back down here to black. And I am going to take my gouache brush and just kind of put in some of the really dark tones. So I think that just helps. Some of those bigger mid-tones, it's just easier under here. And then I'll come back to my marker. And I can come in here and just have some fun with some of the details before we move on to another expression. What I find fun and interesting about this one is all the folds in the eye. See a little bit of the ear back there. Maybe you've had a day like this or a holiday break like this. I don't know. Sometimes I know my wife had a double knee replacement. She had both knees done in the last 6 weeks. And I've seen her make this face quite a bit in the last few weeks. Very painful. See what I did right there was I switched over to my blending brush, and since I didn't want that line right running through there, I didn't want to erase it, so I'm just kind of blending it in. And I come back to my pencil. Put in a few highlights. That's kind of fun. All right, so that's 2 down. Let's turn this one on and then put this one up here. Sure, why not? Kind of crazy. What would you call this expression? This one I'm going to take a different approach, and I'm actually going to start with my whites. And going to squint. I'll go to my darks. Just getting big shapes across there. I wanted to start with my whites because I noticed that I've been tending to not leave room for the sides of his eyes. All right, let's get this sketch marker. Ike. Ike's Design. Happy New Year to you too. Thanks for watching. Just drawing faces today. I'm on my third face so far. Well, third expression of the same face. Just doing another one of those exploration of expression sessions. Tried digital drawing some time ago. It was a bit difficult. I think I need to try it again. Yeah, digital drawing, man. I love it. I'm drawing in the iPad in Procreate right now. And it's just, I think it's just liberating because you can pretty much do anything with it. And the fear of making, messing up a canvas or something is just gone because, you can erase anything. That's what's fantastic about it. So I've been drawing digitally since 2002. It's when I first learned how to, got my first digital tablet and got Photoshop. And actually I started off on Corel Painter as well as Photoshop, but I really I used Corel Painter for a long time because it was really, at that time, back in the early 2000s, it was actually better for trying to simulate traditional medium than Photoshop. Then a lot of people airbrushing from Peru. Happy New Year. Oh, awesome. You're airbrushing today. That's awesome. You know, I started on airbrush back in the late 80s. It was my first and preferred medium. I did all my illustrations and my caricatures with airbrush. And yeah, I love the airbrush. All right, just pop in some basic highlights here. Then we'll call this one good for our third sketch. Just get a little bit more in the whites of the eyes there. Just need a little bit more contrast under here. You want to see something really scary? There's a feature on Procreate that I love and hate all at the same time. But a tool that you can use when you're drawing is to hold your drawing up in a mirror, and then you can see it with fresh eyes and see how distorted it is. And I can guarantee you this one's going to be distorted. But if you tap with 4 fingers and hit flip horizontally, it looks so different. And you can see how, like, this is really mangled. Not a great drawing, but that's right. I'm just sketching. I'm just having fun. I'm going to put that one down here. Boom, boom. Let's pull this one up. We'll get rid of these. Not get rid of them, but turn them off. And we'll do one more. Just because we're having fun. I'm having fun. I hope you're having fun. And I think for this one, take a little drink. See if I can do this one in like 6 minutes. Sometimes I feel like I'm I'm trying to sculpt it in, you know, trying to feel the forms. There's something really subtle going on in this drawing or in this photo that I want to try to capture, but it's the fact that he's looking off to the side. Grab my thin brush, gouache brush again. Just lay in. Right, now we got to pop in some highlights. All right, let's see here. Let's pull these up. Well, there you go. That's what I got done in an hour. That's kind of fun. Just exploring expressions. It's I mixed them up a little bit, but I suppose I could choose this guy really needs to go down here, and this guy needs to go up here if we want to be true to the, well, that one's really bad, but there you go. It's kind of a fun little experiment. And come over here to this. Hey, thanks for watching. This episode of Art Pastor Live was just pure enjoyment of drawing. And I love art. I love exploring spirituality and scripture through visual art and creativity. Sometimes I just love drawing and painting. And for the pure joy of using the gifts that God has given me, it's a way of exploring the world, seeing what's really out there, and just, yeah, I think joy and wonder is part of what art gives us. And so, anyway, thanks for joining, and we'll see you next time.